my head. Flintstone rolling, I be in my head, in my head. Mind me strolling, I be in my head, in my head. She look at me, she floating, I be in my head, in my head. Smoking something, I be in my head, in my head. Flintstone rolling, I be in my head, in my head. Mind me strolling, I be in my head, in my head. She look at me, she floating, I be in my head, in my head.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to P's Reviews, where today I'm going to yap about time and love, and a little bit about being alone. And the album I'm reviewing today is The Slow Rush by Tame Impala. Now, before I get too much into it, I want to say thank you to my friend Enrique, a longtime friend of mine, because technically Enrique was the one who introduced me to this album. I had already known who Tame Impala was. I had heard a couple of their songs before, from the album before this, actually, Currents, their third album. The Slow Rush is their fourth album that came out in 2020. Currents came out in 2015, so like around my college years, I had heard a couple of songs from them. Actually, I heard the whole Currents album, but like it hadn't made me like a fan of Tame Impala, so I didn't check for like any new music. And then one day Enrique puts the album in a group chat. I listened to it. I think it's cool. But the great thing about this album to me is that 5 years later, the more I listen to it, the more time I spend with it, I only love this album more. I just came back from dropping my brother and my sister off at the airport, and I listened to it on the way back. And before I forget to tell you in the review, the best way to listen to this album might be in the car, full blast. You want to be surrounded in a way that keeps you surrounded by all the sounds they create with this album. At full blast is the best way to listen to this album. It's the best way to listen to most albums, but for me, especially this one, especially with something like it's a psychedelic rock or pop album. So anything psychedelic, you want to. Well, sometimes you want to vibe out and play them not too high, but with this album, you want to play it as loud as possible. At least for me. But Tame Impala. So thank you, Enrique. And Tame Impala, if you don't know, is a band, but really not in a weird way. It is the brainchild of one man named Kevin Parker. So when you listen to this album, when you listen to any of their albums, the studio albums, it's mostly, if not all, Kevin Parker. He records the vocals, he records the instruments, he mixes it, and he has his own studio at home, so he does it all when you hear the studio albums. But he does have a consistent set of band members that he performs with when they go do the shows live. When they perform anything live, he has three other band members that does it with him. Fun fact about the band, one of them only speaks French, and so I don't know if this is true for all of them, but I know at least for two of them, they don't really speak. They don't have a conversation for real because of the language barrier. One, he can't understand French, and one only speaks French. And for me, that's a cool tidbit about both the band, because it shows the beauty in art and how it can make people come together. Even when they can't really fully conversate, they can still come together and make something beautiful, put on excellent performances, and be a great band, and two of them can't even conversate. That's amazing to me. I love that about them, and doing the deep dive and finding stuff out like this for this, only made me love and appreciate the band and the album even more. So The Slow Rush is a 12-track album. It's not that long, and it deals, like I said, with major themes of time. A lot of the song titles have times in them, and throughout the whole album, themes of past, themes of the future, themes of staying in the moment. The first track and the last track are a bit of a juxtaposition. Sorry, I'm so sorry. The first track, the intro track, is called One More Year. It's a really good a really good track. Look at me, now I can't speak. I got all this stuff going on, now I can't speak. One More Year is a really good song. It's a really good intro, and if you know me, if you've heard any of these before, the intro is a very important part of the album to me. because it sets the tone of the album. If I don't like your intro, it's gonna be hard for me. The next 2 or 3 songs you got to get me, or I'm out of there. And the outro is called One More Hour. 1 more year, 1 more hour. Juxtaposition not only in title, but also what they're about. One's about being stagnant, and one's about finding new inspiration and looking towards the future. You know what I'm saying? And guess which one is about which. There is Lost in Yesterday, which is about letting go of the past. There's Tomorrow's Dust, which is about, it's almost essentially the same thing. The era of today is just tomorrow's dust, so tomorrow's a different day, let go of the past. Don't get lost in yesterday. Today is a new day, tomorrow's a new day. You even have songs like Instant Destiny and Posthumous Forgiveness, which, like I said, love is a big theme in this album as well. Instant Destiny and Posthumous Forgiveness are both songs about love. Even to no, that's Is It True? Is It True? They're all songs about love, right? But they all intertwine with the theme of the time. Instant Destiny is basically it's a song about where he's like hearkening back to proposing to his wife, and he's like, yo, I gotta do it right now. I have to make the moment and do it right now, because you can't wait for the moment to be made. There may never be a perfect time. I have to make the moment right now, so it's like thinking back to the past, but how urgent time is in the moment, how he felt that urgency in the moment in the past. Posthumous Forgiveness is a song about his love for his dad. The first half, it's a 2-part song. I love a 2-part song. It has an excellent beat switch. The second half of the song it's up there for favorite just parts of the album, just favorite parts of the album, period. But it's the first half is about his past relationship with his father before his father passed away, and how strenuous it was. And then he has the second half, which is about him looking forward to reconnecting with his father in the future when he passes, and he can tell him about his journey after his father had passed, everything he's learned as a man, everything he's been through. His father was in a cover band, so he has like a line in the song where he's like, how I was on the phone, I can't wait to tell you how I was on the phone with Mick Jagger. I'm sure his dad was a huge Mick Jagger fan, and so that would be great. I can't imagine how it would feel for me if I was on the phone with someone that I knew my father was a fan of, and I couldn't like go back and tell him, you can't go back and tell him, so. But it's the whole album is vibey. Like I said, it's psychedelic rock. It's vibey. All the sounds, the synth, the guitar, his voice. You can do everything to this album. You can vibe to this album. Like I said, you can put it on the speakers and drive to the album. You can dance to it. Every time I listen to it, I at least bob my head. But you can dance to this album. It's a really good album. I love this album. It has an incredible 4-track run from now. Technically, it's a 5-track run if you count the intro. And I do love the intro, but from track 2, Instant Destiny, to track 5, Breathe Deeper, that's an incredible album run right there. Those 4 songs are top tier chef's kiss for me. And it's like, when you dive into those themes of time and of love, and for me, it's like, I love this album because it's so relatable. It's so human. How he talks about those themes and how he's been through what he's been through, how they affect him in his mind, about not wanting to stay stagnant, about having struggles letting go of the past, about not being sure if this will be forever or not. So you just want to enjoy it in the moment because you don't know it'll be forever, right? I relate to a lot of those things personally, I do. But then he makes you vibe out to him. He makes you dance to him. He makes you nod your head to him. He tells you stories that are so relatable, even for a person who is not famous and is the lead singer or lead musician of a band who makes full albums in his living room in a couple of hours. This album is great to me. I don't want to drone on too much. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to make it too long, this video. I have a tendency of talking too much and making these things too long. So I'm going to wrap this up with listen to The Slow Rush. It is a fantastic album. I was supposed to talk about being a loner for a little bit because he does mention that in the album. He does. He has like 3 songs where he mentions like how dealing with these themes of time and love are a little difficult, him being a loner and wanting to spend that time alone. You know, the last track, One More Hour, is how does it go? As long as I can, as long as I can, spend some time alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, makes you sing out to it. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, like, I love my people. I love all people. I love being together. I love togetherness. I love being together. But I am a big loner. I spend most of my time alone. And I like to spend most of my time alone. I like that about me. You know, it is, my comfort zone is me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, wherever I am, it's just me alone. Dealing in my own head, doing whatever I do, creating, thinking, distracting, just veering off into space. It's where I feel most comfortable. So even in that, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of relatable things to me personally. But even if you might not relate to all these things, sonically, it's one of the best albums I ever heard still. Sonically, it is still one of the best albums I ever heard. Even for the first 2 years that I had the album, I barely knew what he was really talking about. I caught on to the themes of time very early, but I wasn't really listening. You know, I was just listening to the sounds, really. The sound of his voice. Like I said, the sound of the synth and the guitar. This album will just wash over you, it will. But if you really listen to it and you really pay and you really vibe with it, it'll be an album that you will listen to forever. Like this album, sometimes this album helps me find myself. You know what I'm saying? Like it helps me rediscover and recenter myself. Another great thing about this album for me personally, you know. So I want people to go check it out. If you don't know, we're gonna backtrack a little bit and grade the album, because here on P's Reviews we have a grading scale. We do grade the albums. I grade everything I review between on a scale of 1 to 3 P's. Like the 5 mics, we got 1 to 3 P's. This album is without a doubt 3 P's. 3 whole P's for past, present, and potential. 3 P's. 3 P's does not mean it's a classic. It just means I love it. It is one of my that means it has the potential to be one of my all-time favorites. But if I list off all my favorite albums, we're gonna get to like 25 albums. But this album is like one of 6 that will impact me forever. I have like Damn Kendrick Lamar, ATLiens, Outkast, Nirvana Nevermind. I have Sade Love Deluxe. I got Michael Jackson Thriller, and I got Tame Impala, The Slow Rush. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not saying quality-wise it's as good as Love Deluxe or Thriller. I'm definitely not saying that, but how it impacted me, what it means to me, it's up there with like those 6. You know, this is one of the most impactful albums to me of my life. So 3 solid P's. But if you're new here, this is kind of new for me. I don't do this. I wasn't trying to do this, but I was forced to do this in so many ways. I've actually recorded this. I've recorded this already and put it out. But that was a no-go for YouTube. So now we're trying this. If you like it like this, let me know. If you want to see my face and my smile. But if you'd rather see gameplay like the last video, let me know. Either way, I'm gonna try and leave my Twitch in the comments. There will be other videos with gameplay that have nothing to do with the P's Reviews, so you'll still see that. This is a channel where I want you to go. I want to review these things, but I don't want to give too much, because I want you to go interact with these things and form your own opinion and come back to me so we can talk about them. So go listen to The Slow Rush, you know what I'm saying? If you've heard it before, tell me how you feel about it. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Tell me what you like about Tame Impala. If you've never heard it before, definitely go listen to it. Listen to it very loud, very loud. And come back and tell me what you like about it or what you hate about it. I'm gonna try and get more of these out more often where I review stuff. I am. So send me recommendations to review: movies, shows, games, albums. I'll review anything. But I'm gonna try and stick to things that I know I like. That is the point of this one, to stay positive. I have another one that's for venting. That's not the P's reviews. P's reviews is to stay positive. We sticking with the P's. But also in terms of the albums, because I'm not trying to react to these, because they're more reviews and more incentive to go get other people to listen to music and experience art. I think maybe I will have something where I might try and set something up where we do listen to albums together. So if you want to listen to the Slow Rush with me, or if there are other albums you want to listen to with me, where we can like get into a live chat, we can listen to them and react to them together, let me know. I might try and set that up. But either way, thanks for listening, and until then, it's your friend P, or you can call me Leak. Both work, Stony. And I'm out. Peace reviews.